Hey guys, Pulse Prelate here. Alright, so today we're going to talk about my Soulwrest Phantasm Zombiemancer. So there's lots of Soulwrest builds out there. I really wanted to make one with a big front line of zombies because it makes mapping a lot more safe. So let's talk about this build and how it works and some of the links I use, and I'll take a look at the passive tree as well. So first things first, the Soulwrest staff works. Basically, when you consume a corpse, it summons in Phantasm. Usually there's a cap at 10, but when we put summon Phantasm on kill support gem in, we get a maximum of 20. So there's a number of ways that you can consume corpses. One way is by using corpse explosion or one of your flesh offering skills. Another way is by having a Bubonic Trail boots, which basically they trigger Death Walk when equipped, and Death Walk blows up the corpses around you. So this is really good for when you're mapping, but when you're on bosses, it's not too reliable. So what I've done is I have a Castwell channeling set up with Wither, where I have Flesh Offering and Desecrate. So I can spam this, and it'll start summoning, and there you go, right away, 19. So I got these little guys running around, and they do pretty good damage. They've got great range. Alright, so that's how the build works basically. I run, and as I'm running, things are blowing up, and if I start running out of these, or if there's no corpses around, I spam this. And because this is giving me flesh offering, it's also giving my minions flesh offering. It's giving them a ton of movement speed, ton of attack and cast speed, right? And that works for both the attacks of the zombies and the spells of the phantasms. Alright, so let's talk about my setup here. So in my first slot, I have Soulwrest Staff. This doesn't need to be linked because it's just affecting a skill within the weapon, so all you have to have is 6 sockets, which makes it kind of nice for like a starting build. I don't think the staff is overly expensive either. So I have LMP for obviously coverage on the screen. Minion damage support, that's pretty standard. Added fire, we'll come back to that one. Summon Phantasm is to increase the limit. Faster casting is just for raw deeps, and as is control destruction. The other option that you could have here, other than added fire, would be something like faster projectiles if you want map clear. If you're finding that the map clear is pretty good as it is, then and you just want the damage for boss killing, then go added fire. Alright, so in our next slot we have a bone helmet. This helps us because it has increased minion damage. This particular one has lots of life, lots of resists, and I can also summon an additional zombie with it because of the craft. So in this setup, I have a Raised Spectre, Blood Magic, Minion Life, and Convocation. So the specters that I'm using are the Blood Apes. They use like a Frenzy Cry and give everything around them frenzies. The Blood Magic makes this happen more frequently, and the Minion Life makes them stay alive much longer. Convocation is pretty standard. Then we have our Grip of the Council. This is Fizz is extra cold damage. This benefits both our phantasms and our zombies because our phantasms actually deal physical spells. So in this setup, that's the Wither, Castwell Channeling, Flesh Offering, and Desecrate setup I was talking about. In our main chest setup, our 6th link, I have a Raised Zombie setup. And I have an Empower linked up to this so that I have basically bigger meat shields. I could also put Minion Life into this setup, but I just don't have the blue sockets right now. So Raised Zombie, Minion Damage for the damage, Melee Physical for the damage, Multi-Strike so that they spam their Slam more often. Maim because that makes them take 14% increased physical damage, and that also works with our phantasms. And then lastly, Empower. Our last setup is our boot, and that was the Deathwalk Bubonic Trail that I was talking about earlier. In this one, we have Clarity because we're running Mind Over Matter. We have Haste because we need the movement speed, honestly, just to dodge, because obviously you can't use a movement skill with a staff that has 1.2 attacks per second. It's just too slow. And Enduring Cry just to generate endurance charges. For all the other slots, you're just looking for life, mana regeneration, resists, and stats to pad out and be able to use all your skills. Our passive tree is pretty standard. Basically, we're just coming up here and taking all the life, mana, and minion nodes. Same goes up here. This one's good because it gives you the zombies and an extra specter, so that gives you more frenzy charges, right? And then we come over here, same thing. We're picking up lots of minion life, so we can help our meat shields stay alive. We have mind over matter and more mana regen. Then a little bit of aura effectiveness here. Honestly, I just really wanted this for the radius, but because we are mind over matter, this gives us more unreserved mana. More mana, or more minion damage over there. Then we have a life wheel down here, life over here basically. And we picked this up just for the extra zombies, because this is giving us physical damage reduction. Okay, so if we look at our Ascendancy, we have Commander of Darkness, because this gives us elemental resistances, makes it easier to cap our resistances. And Puppet Master, because minion movement speed is key, and minion duration actually works really well with the Phantasms. Invoker to help us keep our minions alive longer, especially against higher red tier maps. And Flesh Binder so that we can get our zombies slamming more often and we get more zombies. So right now I have 11 zombies. That means I have 11% extra physical damage reduction. That really, really helps. Alright, so that's the basics of the build. I'll show you guys some footage so that you can see a map that I've run, and yeah, you can just see how it works. Alright, so most build guides will show you builds running maps under pretty good conditions. So I'm going to show you what this build would look like running a map that is actually terrible to run. So what we have here is an Acid Caverns map with no regeneration and some extra damage mods. So this will hit pretty hard. As this is a Mind over Matter build, obviously the lack of mana regeneration is going to be a big problem. Let's hop in and see how it goes. So what you're going to want to do is keep summoning the minions in front of you to take all the damage, and try to conserve your flasks so that you're not running out of mana. So this build definitely does lots of damage, no issue there. Basically, just try to avoid as much of the damage as possible when you're doing no regen maps. Oh, looks like we get an abyss coming up here. I feel like this abyss is going to be pretty brutal. Let's see how it goes. Alright. So I'm just using that hybrid flask to keep my mana up. This is actually a instant hybrid flask as well. I don't want to be taking too much damage here. I obviously don't have that wasn't too bad actually. What's this? Alright, here's the Syndicate. Go in. Oh. Was that +2 Tora? So yeah, that could have gone a lot worse, I guess. Lost a couple zombies there. I don't have any mana to summon all these zombies. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay, we'll get some more mana later on and we'll summon some more zombies. I like this map. It's pretty straightforward. Not a lot of backtracking. Oh, here's a breach. Take this breach and see what happens here. Let's get some more of these zombies up. A couple of our zombies have died to the Syndicate. You want to be keeping your endurance charges up. But you don't want to be too close to the enemies when you're using it because it will taunt them. And that'll remove the taunt your minions have. Ooh, it's a Chayla too. Yeah, Chayla's hurt, man. Okay. Woo. Hello? Oh, that's the boss. Fuck me, I almost died. Okay, good. Well, there you have it, folks. No regen map with a breach, an abyss, and corrupted boss, and no deaths.